thankfulness that God allows us to digress in the path of righteousness. Even when we walk away from righteousness, he's not cracking the ground open and trying to bring us back. I'm not trying to force us back, but he's patient with us and he allows us to come back on our own, and he's constantly chasing us. And I think even in our own individual stories of salvation, when we experience salvation and grace, the experience is where God comes in and the Bible says we are new creatures. And our sins are forgiven as long as we repent. And we walk through our lives, and sometimes we forget when we deal with everyday people that we used to be sinners, you know? And we sometimes judge those people who are lost and who are far from God. You know, forgetting that 10 months ago, I was doing the same thing they were doing, you know what I mean? And our limited grace, our grace factor is real low, you know? And I don't know, like me personally, sometimes I struggle with it because I'm like, yo, this is my space, you can't come into it, you know? I might be a little territorial sometimes, you know? I remember when I was a kid, we had this, it's funny because my whole family's here, let's go. we had this rule with my dad, and when we went out to eat, or went through a drive-thru, our rule was that you can only order from the dollar. You know, times are hard, it is what it is. So, but it wasn't like dollar menu now, like it's crap, like the dollar menu back then was like you can get like 25-cent cheeseburgers at McDonald's, or 15-cent hamburgers, you know, like people survived off of those things. But yeah, we had to roll off the dollar menu. And I remember one time when our family was expanding, we had a sibling, a step-sibling. And we weren't mean, but we really were standoffish. We didn't let them in our group. We weren't as kind as we should have been, you know? And one time we're going through the drive-thru, and literally, my dad asked us, hey, what do you guys want to do? And we do our normal stuff. We order the McChickens, the 25-cent cheeseburger, all that stuff, whatever. I don't know where it was, but we ordered our stuff. And then the step-sibling orders a number. Like the number 14, and we looked like, I know Dad's gonna rip into me. You know, no way. They're gonna walk out of here with a big and tasty. So what happens is we wait and we watch, and my dad says, okay. And keeps pushing. We're like, wait, what? You didn't take that back? You didn't make her return it? We're like, no, they can have it. So we were dumbfounded, and literally, we were still standoffish, but it clicked in our heads one time. We were like, if they're in the car, it means we can get numbers. So literally every time they went to get food, we're like, hey, yeah. Come me. When they were in the car, we got numbers, we got because sometimes we don't invite people into our space until we feel like they have something to actually talk about. And that's not how the Christian life should be. The same amount of grace that was extended to us, but not the same amount of grace that we can extend to other people. So this brought me to this question: how does God feel about the lost? And I believe the Bible is relevant and answers every question, but this is going to answer this question for us today. So what does God feel about lost people? And I looked in Luke, and chapter 14 and 15, you see that Jesus has just given this call to discipleship. He just gave that famous line, count the cost before you follow me. Before you come with me, and want to be my disciple, do not come thinking that it's not going to cost you anything. And people start to gather around Jesus, and as a response to what he just said. And the Pharisees are looking at him and he says, who is this guy who is this rabbi that's actually going to sit down with sinners and tax collectors and have dinner with them? Because in that time, it was a rule that if you were a Pharisee, you could not associate with anyone who did not follow the law. You know? And Jesus, seeing what they were saying, he chose to not necessarily attack them or respond to them. He just gave 3 parables. 3 parables are called the 3 parables of the coin, the lost, and the sheep. The lost coin, the lost sheep, and the lost son. And they're very similar, but different areas. The first one goes, I'm going to paraphrase also, I'm not going to read you the whole things and vows and all that stuff. But how it goes, the first one starts with a man who has 100 sheep and loses one, and he is so passionate about finding that sheep, he leaves the 99 in the area where they're safe and they can't get attacked, and he goes and he finds that sheep. He finds a sheep, he brings him back, he tells his homeboys, let's party and pray. Because my lost sheep is found. The second parable goes similar. Dude loses a woman loses a coin, which was basically, she had 10 coins, she lost one. One coin equaled a day's labor. So basically, he lost that coin, he lost one. She lost it, she found it, she called her girlfriend and said, hey, I found this coin. Let's party and pray. Jesus says the same thing about both these parables, that when a person turns to God, heaven rejoices. And the last parable, which is very famous, is the parable of the prodigal son. And it starts off with three characters. One is the father, and he has two sons. And the younger son walks to the father and says, yo, Dad, run me my money. I can't wait till you die. I need my inheritance right now. And the father splits his inheritance with his kids, which, pause, fun fact. Any older siblings in the building? Yeah? Okay. So, in the Jewish culture, if you were an older sibling, your father passed away, he left 2/3 of his inheritance to you, and then the other third was split amongst the other younger siblings. So, mom and dad, we're supposed to take care of the little kids. We're supposed to have some cash. Everything we have is supposed to be mine. My dad here? No. Sure. Okay. Yes, okay. So the younger sibling takes his inheritance and he cashes it out. He takes his property and he converts it to cash. And he goes off to Inglewood and Hawthorne and he spends it on ratchet. He spends his money on ratchet living, super ratchet living, and he runs out. All he spends all his money at Hollywood Casino, and he runs out all his money. So there was a famine after that. He's broke. So broke, he has to go get a job taking care of pigs. And he's so hungry, he's about to eat this slop. And I don't really know what slop is, but I just think about the stuff that forms in the gutter. After the rain and all the dirt on the truck. I don't know. Anyway, he's about to eat this slop, and he says, man, the people at my dad's job, my dad's house, eat way better than this, and they're slaves. I'm just gonna go back and tell my daddy I messed up. I don't need to be your son anymore. I just want to work for you, you know? So he gathers all his property and goes back. And the father sees his son walking up, and now the father has a few choices to make. The father can technically in the culture, the father can take the son out and stone him. I didn't know that. He can take the son out and stone him. Or he can make him a slave, which means make him work for him. Or he can turn him away and say, no, you decided to live righteously. You're on your own. You know? But he doesn't. He runs towards his son. He hugs him. He kisses him. And before the son can even say these things, he's already embraced by his father. And the son says, Dad, I messed up. I live righteously. Can I work for you? So the father doesn't even acknowledge what he says. He just says, yo, Alfred, bring me the robe, bring me the ring, bring me the shoes. Let me restore him back to sonship. And he says, we're going to party and pray. And he says, go bring me the fatted calf. We're going to make burgers tonight. And we're going to celebrate because the son that was lost is now found. And there's a second part of that story that we really don't look at a lot, and that's the story of the older brother. Once the older brother's in the field, he hears the partying and praise going on, And he's like, what's going on in the house? And one of the servants says, your brother came back. The little brother came back and we're partying. And he is hot. He is very upset because he has been here all this time. And he tells his dad, Dad, I've worked for you my whole life. I've never gone against what you said. I've never disobeyed you. But you've never given me a goat to even have curry goat with my friends. You know? He says, this son of yours squandered all your money and squandered all your money on prostitutes, but you want to bring out the fatted calf and make it barbecue. And the father says, son, everything I have is yours. But it was right to celebrate that your son, our son. Everything I have is yours, but it was right to celebrate. For your brother was lost and now he's found. Your brother was dead and now he's alive.
Party.
When you look at these, you can really look at these individual parables, and you can take them and get your own individual meaning from each one. But I believe that they were said in they were meant to come as a package to basically explain to the Pharisees why Jesus was so willing to accept lost people into his group. And I believe that the first point was the Father is earnestly seeking after those who are lost. He's not like, a lot of people have this image of God like he's like Zeus, like he's sitting on the cloud and he's just looking at the lost people and it's like, gotcha. No, he's not, he's not doing that. That's not the image of the Father. You see, the Father is seeking, going after them, looking and still pursuing them. You know, I know in my instance where I feel like I might have been lost or turned away from God, I remember the presence of God just always not forcing me, but chasing me. You know what I mean? He spares no effort. In this illustration, you see the same thing where he basically gave his only son so that we could have life and that more abundantly. You know what I mean? Second point is, heaven rejoices when someone who is lost turns from their destructive ways and turns to God. The third point is, God is so quick to forgive. Even when you look at the scripture, you see that before the son could even, before he can even say I was sorry, the father had already positioned himself to forgive. Because when you look at it, says he ran towards him, he hugged him and he was kissing him. In the culture, kissing accompanied with extreme emotion signified forgiveness. So before he could even say I was sorry, he was just ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's so ready, he's so willing to forgive us as long as we come to him. And a fourth one is the Father wants the church to be in harmony. When the older brother is angry, he says, this son of yours did that, this son of yours did that. He never signified that the son was his brother as well. You know? But the Father corrects him and reestablishes the relationship and says, no, your brother was lost. But now he's found. I think with the same eagerness to receive lost, I think we should have the same eagerness to receive lost people as the Father does. Amen. It's not our job to judge people or to judge their heart. We should be celebrating along with them as heaven is when someone comes back into the fold. I heard this pastor, I'm going to close with this. I heard this pastor that I listen to a lot. He was sitting in the front row, and this lady was being loud and crazy and rambunctious. And he was like, why is she acting like this? He was getting annoyed. And the lady next to him said, isn't this beautiful? And he said, why were you talking about? He says, this lady used to be, for more than half of her adult life, she was a prostitute. And now she has gave her life to Christ and she's been delivered from that. And all of a sudden, all that rambunctious praise, all that rambunctious loud noise turned to beautiful praise. Amen. I think a lot of times when you wash someone's feet, take the time to wash their feet, and you will understand why they walk the way they walk. Instead of judging the lost, instead of judging those who are lost or being cynical towards them, I want to encourage you to serve those who are around you with the same eagerness to reach the lost that the Father has for us.